Some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the
Harvey Weinstein asking them dumb questions. I get sick.
7 celebrities have spoken out, alleging troubling experiences that they claim reveal a darker side to Oprah Winfrey's rise to fame and influence. Among them is Monique, who has said Oprah betrayed black women and featured her on television without her consent.
If Oprah was watching this, what would you tell her?
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, I don't even deal with things like that, because what people are beginning to do is see you.
To Snoop Dogg, who unleashed a barrage of profanity-laden accusations, criticizing her for racial double standards, defending white individuals while targeting black men.
You ain't coming after Harvey Weinstein asking them dumb questions.
These celebrities discovered that standing up to America's most celebrated media mogul came at a steep price. Curtis Jackson never imagined he'd become one of Oprah Winfrey's fiercest critics, but when his hopes of appearing on her show were dashed, he turned disappointment into a calculated response. The rapper had wanted the appearance not for fame, but as a gift for his grandmother, a lifelong Oprah fan. Despite pitching through industry contacts, Oprah's team made it clear they weren't interested in what he represented. The rejection cut deeper than any diss track. At the time, Oprah had cultivated her platform by criticizing violence and misogyny in hip-hop, often spotlighting artists like 50 Cent. She reportedly refused to book rappers, feeling uneasy about providing them a stage. Curtis learned of these private decisions through conversations with managers and executives familiar with both sides.
Time she made a mention to hip-hop culture, it was something that was wrong with it. And it was my CD that was the largest debut in hip-hop album. Looking at it and you saying that everything that's wrong with our culture is why I'm a success.
Rather than let the snub go unanswered, 50 Cent devised what he called a strategic approach to his relationship with Oprah. If friendship wasn't possible, he reasoned, they could at least be adversaries. He recognized that controversy drew attention, and clashing with Oprah ensured his name stayed in the headlines. The tactic proved effective. Each time he criticized her, media outlets amplified the story. His attacks escalated during the Me Too era, particularly when Oprah executive-produced documentaries about accused black men, including Russell Simmons, and backed projects targeting Michael Jackson. 50 Cent took to Instagram, accusing her of going after black men while ignoring white perpetrators like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. He questioned why she highlighted figures like Russell Simmons and Michael Jackson instead of focusing on more powerful white men facing similar allegations. His criticism peaked when Oprah withdrew from the Russell Simmons documentary at the last minute. Sharing old photos of her with Simmons, he captioned them to imply hypocrisy in her selective targeting. The posts went viral, garnering millions of views and thousands of comments from fans who agreed with his perspective. In interviews, 50 Cent explained that Oprah's audience, largely older white women, differed entirely from his own fan base, highlighting the disconnect between them.
If you look at Oprah Winfrey's audience, it was middle-aged white women. They escaped the fact that she was an African-American woman in front of them. Yeah. Because she was so successful, when she said things and it was the way they thought, they said, I think like a billionaire. And they make, because once we put you a billionaire, and then you say things and you think exactly the way they think, they go, she's a billionaire.
He argued that she deliberately excluded hip-hop artists because their music made her core audience uncomfortable. For many, this felt personal. Rap represented authentic black expression, yet the most powerful black woman in media refused to embrace it. Their feud eventually led to a peace meeting arranged by Gayle King, where both sides reached a tentative understanding. Still, 50 Cent continued to critique Oprah's handling of black male celebrities, insisting her actions exposed troubling racial double standards. Ice Cube, known as a fearless voice in hip-hop, also struggled to break through Oprah's gatekeeping. Despite transitioning from controversial rapper to successful actor and filmmaker, Oprah's team repeatedly declined opportunities to feature him on her influential talk show. The pattern became unmistakable after several failed attempts. He had 3 major projects pitched to her producers, yet he was never invited for promotional appearances. When the cast of Barbershop appeared, Oprah welcomed Cedric the Entertainer and Eve, but excluded Ice Cube, the film's star and creative driver. The snub felt deliberate. Frustration mounted further when Ice Cube produced the provocative reality show Black White, which confronted racial issues by having families swap racial identities using makeup and prosthetics. Even though the show was groundbreaking in its exploration of race, Oprah invited the full cast except for Ice Cube himself. The repeated exclusions suggested something more deliberate than mere scheduling conflicts or oversight.
Well, but I've been shut out. Some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd.
But I've been shut out, Ice Cube explained. Some platforms just won't have me. They don't like that I'm an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. The exclusion stung because Ice Cube embodied the kind of rags-to-riches story that typically fascinated Oprah's audience. He had transformed from a young man in South-Central Los Angeles, writing angry protest songs, into a successful entrepreneur running multiple entertainment ventures. His evolution from NWA member to family film star exemplified personal growth and redemption, the exact narratives talk show audiences normally loved. Ice Cube publicly expressed his belief that Oprah had a problem with hip-hop culture itself. He highlighted the hypocrisy of her booking practices, noting that she had welcomed guests with far more controversial backgrounds than his own. The show had featured convicted criminals and proven liars, yet somehow, Ice Cube was still deemed too controversial for her platform.
I have to go places for one that I'm welcome and where I can voice my opinion without somebody, saying I'm a bad person and that they never want to have me on.
Ice Cube's critique went beyond personal slights, touching on deeper issues of authenticity and representation in black media. He argued that Oprah selectively embraced elements of black culture that were palatable to her predominantly white female audience, creating a form of cultural gatekeeping that felt like a betrayal to those expecting support for diverse black voices. Similarly, Ludacris hoped that appearing on the Oprah Winfrey Show would be a career milestone, but the experience left him feeling misrepresented and manipulated. Invited to promote the Oscar-winning film Crash alongside his co-stars, he quickly realized Oprah's underlying biases toward hip-hop culture. The tension began during the interview while discussing the film's exploration of racial discrimination. Instead of focusing on the movie, Oprah turned the conversation toward Ludacris personally, scrutinizing his rap lyrics for derogatory language and violent imagery. Caught off guard, Ludacris tried to explain the artistic context of his music, emphasizing that his songs were creative expressions, not literal endorsements of harmful behavior. Oprah dismissed his perspective, continuing to press him about the potential influence of his music on young listeners. The interview grew increasingly uncomfortable as his viewpoints were ignored. After airing, Ludacris discovered the full extent of Oprah's editorial control. Most of his explanations were cut, while her critical commentary remained intact, amplifying a skewed narrative.
It was it was certain comments that she had made about, I was there for a Crash for the movie. Yeah. And basically she said something about not agreeing with my music, but she thought I did great in the movie. And of course I was up there with the whole cast of Crash. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't necessarily feel like...
The selective editing painted him as defensive and inarticulate, while framing Oprah as the unquestioned moral authority scrutinizing hip-hop's impact on society.
And I had my rebuttal, and when I saw the final show, her comments were in there. Right, was in there, but yours wasn't in there. And mine weren't in there, so it just looked like I kind of took it. Wow. Like, it was just quiet and didn't say
yes,
ma'am.
I did. Yes, mother.
Behind the scenes, Oprah pulled Ludacris aside for a private conversation that revealed her deeper unease with rap music. She admitted that she rarely booked rappers because she felt uncomfortable giving them a platform to promote what she considered harmful messages. The conversation confirmed Ludacris' suspicions that her invitation came with hidden agendas, rather than genuine interest in his artistry. The experience underscored the double standards in how Oprah treated black entertainers. Ludacris noted that comedians like Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle were welcomed on her show despite using similar language and addressing the same social issues. Comedy appeared to provide a socially acceptable cover for controversial content, while rap music faced direct scrutiny. He later described feeling unwelcome in Oprah's space, as if he were a guest who wasn't truly wanted. The treatment clashed with her public image as a champion of black excellence. His achievements in music and film embodied the multifaceted talent she often celebrated, yet personal bias seemed to prevent genuine recognition. Similarly, Cat Williams has positioned himself as Hollywood's truth-telling disruptor, and his critiques of Oprah fit seamlessly into his broader mission of exposing industry hypocrisy. His attacks blend personal anecdotes with systematic observations about how power operates in elite Hollywood circles. Williams drew significant attention for his commentary on Oprah's alleged use of Ozempic, a diabetes medication reportedly used by celebrities for weight loss. In his stand-up, he joked that Oprah had taken so much that her best friend, Gayle King, lost 10 pounds simply from being near her.
Here's the truth, won't nobody say. That mother Ozempic is whooping Hollywood's ass. Do you hear me? Woo! That's the truth. That Ozempic is too up and it's too strong. They know it's too strong. Ain't nothing they can do. It's too strong. I done seen the paperwork. It's too strong. They said Oprah took so much that Gayle lost.
His criticism went far beyond weight loss medications, extending to Oprah's broader role within Hollywood's power structure. Williams described major industry figures, including Oprah, as part of an elite network that shapes narratives and maintains influence through strategic relationships. He suggested that her success stemmed not only from talent, but from a willingness to align with establishment interests rather than challenge them. Williams' most explosive platform came during his appearance on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast, where he framed himself as an anti-establishment truth-teller. He clarified that his goal was not personal revenge against industry figures, but exposing systems that manipulate public perception. At times, he admitted removing some of his harshest critiques to allow targets the chance to reflect and change. The comedian argued that Oprah's influence had grown so extensive that questioning her posed risks to other entertainers' careers. Her capacity to elevate or damage public figures through media coverage created a climate of fear and compliance, discouraging criticism of industry practices. Williams' credibility stemmed from his consistent targeting of multiple powerful figures, not just Oprah. His willingness to challenge Hollywood giants regardless of consequences reinforced his image as someone speaking truth to power, rather than pursuing personal gain. His commentary on Oprah ultimately supported a larger mission, revealing what he saw as puppet master dynamics controlling Hollywood narratives and public opinion through strategic media manipulation. Monique Hicks underwent a dramatic transformation from Oprah admirer to outspoken critic after what she described as systematic betrayal and professional sabotage. The Academy Award-winning actress's conflict with Oprah began during the Precious promotional campaign and escalated into a decades-long struggle over respect, representation, and accountability within the entertainment industry.
If Oprah was watching this, what would you tell her?
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that, because what people are beginning to do is see you for.
The conflict began when Monique refused to take part in unpaid promotional events for Precious, the film that earned her an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. She had been contracted for a specific role with agreed-upon compensation, not an extensive international publicity tour. When Oprah and fellow executive producer Tyler Perry pressured her to attend film festivals and award shows without extra pay, Monique stood her ground and declined.
I said, is there a dollar amount attached to what you're asking for? Oh, we will never pay anyone to promote a film, never. He said, we understand, and we're never going to work for.
Her refusal sparked immediate industry backlash. Monique claimed that Oprah, Tyler Perry, and director Lee Daniels began circulating rumors that she was difficult to work with. The Whisper campaign severely damaged her career, as major studios and networks hesitated to hire someone branded as problematic by such powerful figures. The betrayal felt especially personal given Oprah's direct actions during this period. Without Monique's consent, Oprah invited her estranged family members onto her talk show to discuss Monique's childhood. The episode featured her brother Gerald, who had exploited her as a child, along with her parents, who had failed to protect her. Monique only learned of the taping after it was scheduled to air. She later said, "If Oprah had told me my mother was coming on that show, I would have said, shut it down. I don't need the world seeing how greedy my mother is." Her anger grew when she discovered that Oprah had apologized privately for the family ambush, yet never issued a public correction or apology. Monique also recorded phone conversations with Tyler Perry, in which he allegedly admitted wrongdoing and promised public apologies that never came. These recordings became key evidence in her claims of industry manipulation and false narratives. The actress broadened her critique to highlight how black women were treated in Hollywood. She argued that Oprah's actions exemplified the systematic silencing of black women who refused to comply with industry demands. Monique alleged that Oprah had even taken film roles originally offered to her, including parts in Lee Daniels' The Butler and other high-profile projects. During appearances on Cat Williams' comedy tour, Monique delivered profanity-filled rants against Oprah and Tyler Perry. She led audiences in chants denouncing both figures, while questioning Oprah's relationship with Gayle King and her commitment to advancing black women. These performances underscored her refusal to be silenced. Despite years of professional consequences, Monique's story became both a cautionary tale about the risks of challenging powerful figures and an example of persistence in demanding accountability and justice. Similarly, Paul Mooney built his comedy career on fearless social commentary, exposing uncomfortable truths about race, power, and authenticity in American culture. Though he passed away in 2021, his legacy includes incisive criticism of black establishment figures who he believed had compromised their cultural integrity for mainstream acceptance, with Oprah Winfrey frequently serving as a central example.
She never said my mother was coming on that show, because had Oprah Winfrey said, "I'm going to have your mother," I would have said, "Shut it down. I don't need the world seeing how greedy my mother."
Mooney's critique of Oprah fits seamlessly within his broader philosophy on black entertainment and cultural representation. He believed comedy provided the rare space where black men could speak candidly about racial dynamics without facing immediate censorship or retaliation. Central to his approach was calling out black celebrities who, in his view, had sacrificed cultural authenticity in pursuit of mainstream, crossover success. His most public criticism of Oprah came during his 2005 Beck Comedy Awards performance, when he presented the Black People Wake Up Call Award. The segment targeted African American figures he believed had neglected their blackness to appeal to white audiences. Oprah was listed among the nominees, alongside Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, and Lil' Kim, implying that she had prioritized mainstream acceptance over cultural loyalty. Mooney's assessment went beyond surface observations, probing deeper questions of representation and responsibility in black media. He questioned whether Oprah's success stemmed from authentic cultural expression or from calculated appeals to white comfort zones. His comedy suggested that her talk show format and content decisions consistently favored white female viewers over the needs of the black community. Known as the godfather of comedy, Mooney used his platform to challenge the assumption that black success automatically benefited black communities. He argued that figures like Oprah could amass immense wealth and influence while simultaneously undermining collective black advancement through their public positions and media content. His criticism extended to her relationship with hip-hop culture and younger black entertainers, noting patterns in how she treated guests differently based on their adherence to respectability politics rather than genuine cultural expression. Throughout his career, Mooney maintained that his role as a comedian included exposing hypocrisy and challenging power structures, regardless of the racial identity of those in power. His critique of Oprah exemplified this principle, framing her success as potentially problematic when it came at the expense of authentic black cultural representation. His approach influenced generations of comedians who continued to question establishment figures and challenge assumptions about success, authenticity, and cultural responsibility in entertainment. His legacy is defined by the courage to critique powerful black figures when their actions appeared to conflict with community interests. Snoop Dogg brought his most aggressive criticism of Oprah Winfrey into public view in February 2020, launching profanity-filled social media rants defending accused black celebrities while challenging her selective activism. The West Coast rap legend's anger boiled over after Gayle King's interview about Kobe Bryant's legacy, which included discussion of allegations just weeks after the basketball star's tragic death.
And see, and somebody mentioned Oprah because I'm going to bring up, Oprah Winfrey, it's like, I know y'all love her and all that, but it's for me, I'm glad you're hip to it because I've checked out, I know you do, you're gone because of media, yeah, but I'm not into it. I can't get ready for it because I've checked her out and Oprah's got no.
Snoop's Instagram posts unleashed a torrent of explicit criticism aimed at both Oprah and Gayle King, accusing them of defending Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, and other accused black celebrities while holding black men to different standards. He shared photos of the two women smiling alongside Harvey Weinstein, questioning why they maintained relationships with the disgraced Hollywood producer while publicly scrutinizing black men facing similar allegations. The rapper's critique centered on what he saw as stark racial double standards in Oprah's approach to accusations. He demanded answers for why she never publicly condemned Weinstein or her spiritual advisor, Drew Deos, who was later convicted and sentenced to 19 years in prison. According to Snoop, her silence on white perpetrators, combined with her focus on black men, exposed troubling biases. His anger escalated when Oprah pulled out of executive producing the Russell Simmons documentary on the record just days before its Sundance premiere. Snoop posted throwback photos of Oprah posing with Simmons at industry events, highlighting what he saw as hypocrisy in her decision to distance herself after initially lending public support. The confrontation intensified further when Snoop released video messages directly challenging Gayle King over her questions about Kobe Bryant, amplifying his public feud with the media figures.
Gayle King, out of pocket for that. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that? I swear to God, we the worst. We the fucking worst. We expect more from you, Gayle. Don't you hang out with Oprah? Why y'all?
Snoop's defense of accused figures went beyond individual cases, reflecting a broader argument about loyalty and representation in black culture. He suggested that successful black women like Oprah had a responsibility to shield black men from what he characterized as modern-day lynching via media coverage and public allegations. His attacks drew public support from Bill Cosby, who posted Instagram messages from prison thanking Snoop for his loyalty and criticizing black women he claimed were being used to damage the legacies of successful black men. This mutual support highlighted deeper tensions within black entertainment over the balance between accountability and community protection. For Snoop, Oprah symbolized a larger concern, that cultural authenticity required defending black masculinity against what he viewed as systematic attacks, often enabled by black women who had attained mainstream success through respectability politics rather than solidarity with their community. And that wraps it up for this video, folks. Bye.